Hello everyone. So this video is going to be about, we're going to expand into the resin department. So what I want to do, I've got these molds. I got them on Amazon. And we are going to dust these molds with pigment. And we are going to pour resin on top of that dusted mold. And we're going to get these flowers. And then I'm going to do a wood board base. They're really pretty. That'll be in another video. This is just step one of making the flowers. So I'm not going to dust all of these because it's a lengthy process. But I'm just going to show you on a couple of them how it works. So what you need to know is that you're going to use resin paste in the resin. I have black resin paste and white resin paste. So if you use the black, it's going to give you a deeper, darker color. If you use the white, it's going to give you a more pastel flower. So that's something you want to keep in mind. So like if I'm going to use, say this lily pad pigment, if I pour white resin over it, it's going to be lighter. If I pour dark resin over, black resin over it, it's going to be a darker shade of green. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to make a bunch of different things and see like what color I end up getting so that I can kind of label them and know, oh, I want to use this pigment with the white resin instead of the black because maybe I don't like it with the black because it's too dark or it's too light. So I'm building myself a bunch of samples. That's where I'm going to start. So you know me and my teals. I have picked these colors. I think I'm going to use like these three here for the leaves and then maybe these for the flowers. I'm planning on using white resin to start. And then I've picked these colors. I have cappuccino that I want to use for the stems and twigs here. This twig here on this flower, and then this flower can be a different color. I think the sterling will be a nice contrast to the teals, and maybe this latte and Athena too, so it's not all teals. It's got some little bit of contrast to it. So that's what we're doing here. So for dusting, you can do various colors. Like this flower has a center, so I might do that a different color and then do this outer area a different color. So if you're going to do that, you want to do the smaller part first. You want to make sure that you get your sides done well so that when you pour that white or that black in, it's covered by the color that you're using. You want to, when you're doing it, like if I'm going to be working on this flower, I'm going to take this paper towel and I'm going to kind of move it around and cover the other places so that the pigment only goes on this flower and not into the other ones. And so that's what I got so far. So I pulled out 4 different size brushes because for a big flower you want to use a bigger brush. Smaller twigs and stems, you want to use something like that. So I have 4 different sizes here. What I'm going to do is when I dip them into the pigment, and when I'm done with the color, you just wipe it off on a paper towel, and then you go over to like a garbage can next to you and just kind of flick it like this into the garbage can, and your brush will get clean. You'll lose the pigment will get out of it. How's that? So let's start with this big flower here. I think I would like to do my lily pad in the center. Well, no, I'm going to do the Athena in the center. I think that'll be pretty because we're going to use the lily pad for some of the leaves. So I'm carefully, now see, I don't want to be working on top of here. I'm going to do that off to the side, and I'm going to cover up here what I don't want to get any pigment on it. So do it away from your project. I carefully lift the lid off. So we're going to do this center, so I just need the little brush. So I'm just going to tap it in there, and you don't need a lot. You just want barely a dusting. Now I'm going to be very careful here to get it in all the area. Now you can see there's some down in here that I'm just kind of moving around. And when I run out of pigment to move around, I'll just add some more and then just shove it around. So this is the Athena, I think I said. So you just dust it on. You make sure you get everywhere, because if you don't, you're going to have white shining through when you put the white resin in there. And you don't want that. So I'm just being careful to go up the sides. And there may still be some loose pigment in here. What we're going to do when we're done is just take the whole mold. Once we're done coating the whole mold, we're going to hold it over the garbage can and just blow on it to get rid of any of the loose pigment. So that's it. Now let me see if I want Athena anywhere else while I'm working on this. On this mold, I would say no. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe off my brush like this on a dry paper towel. You never want to use wet because you don't want to get wetness in your pigment. Then I'm going to take this over to the side and just flick it over the garbage can and make sure that there's nothing else in there. I'm not wearing a mask right now. You would want to, but I'm being extra careful. And you'll also want to use a mask when you're working with your resin. So now next, I'm going to do the twigs. I'm going to do all the twigs on here. Same process. I think I'm going to use a slightly bigger brush, maybe this one. So I'm going to open this away from my project. Okay. I'm going to cover this up. This is cappuccino. I think that's what I said. So I'm just going to take this and get this down in this little groove. Now, when you want to wipe off this stuff that's on the top here, you can use a baby wipe, or you can use a paper towel that has some rubbing alcohol sprayed on it very lightly. So I'm making sure to get my sides. So you can see this is not a quick process. This is gonna be slow. It's gonna be tedious. So I just did that stem there because that flower is going to be a different color. Now I'm going to come over here. All these stems are kind of together. And you're going to need stems to put all this together, so you want to make enough of them. this little mold here is nice because it gives you a lot of stems. You might also find that you want to maybe purchase 2 of these molds that have the stems, because I mean, you're going to have to let this resin dry for 8 to 10 hours. It's kind of a pain to have to keep going back and making stems, so you might want to make extras. So I have that done. So you're kind of getting the gist here of how this needs to go. I saw Curacao, I don't know how you say her last name. She did a great tutorial on this in some of her videos, and it was very helpful. And she made just beautiful flowers. So I'm getting started on my little library of colors with black and white resin, because it's amazing. I mean, some of these, if you use the sterling silver with the white, it looks very silver. With the black resin on top of it, it is a totally different beast. It's much darker. You wouldn't even know that that was the same color pigment used in both of those. All right, so that's just to show you the stems. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to do that later. And we'll come back and when they're all done, and then I'll show you how I do the resin. So again, I just wipe my brush on a dry paper towel. I flick it off into the garbage can. Now I'm trying to think what else I want to show you. Well, this whole flower is going to be the same color, so let's do that. Let's go with I think sea glass. I think that would be pretty with that Athena. Now I'm going to use the big brush. Is this too big? No, this should work fine. So I'm going to take and cover this over here. I'll just be careful over here. So I dip my brush in the pigment, get some on there. And we're going to be careful to look from all directions so that you know you're getting all the sides. Because if you don't, I need another. If you don't, that white or black is going to show through. The black not so much, but the white quite a bit. You really see the white. So we have plenty in here to drag from here and take it over here. And you're just painting the dry pigment onto the mold. Okay? So in a minute here, I'm going to let you go and we will come back when it's time to do the resin. This should be interesting because guess what? I have never worked with resin before. So you're going to learn with me. Hopefully it goes okay. I think it will. It's kind of fail-safe here. And the resin that I got is for shallower projects. So what you need to know is that there are different blends of resin. Each company has different blends. And like if you're going to do a really thick project like a pyramid, or a skull, or thicker things, you're going to need a different type of resin than you would for something shallow like this. So you'll definitely have to look when you go to purchase your resins. What do you want to do? What is each type of resin suggested to be used for? Not all resins are the same. And I got mine. I kind of did my research, and I got, let's see what I got. I forgot already. I bought it a while ago and then I got distracted. KS resin is what I got. And it comes in 2 bottles. It gets mixed in equal portions. Nothing too confusing about it. And it's meant for shallower projects like this. So you just got to be sure what you're doing. And then after I'm done putting this on, I'm going to tell you another thing about the various molds that I got, because I got a few others and I'll tell you why. So when you mix your resin, let's say I totally misjudge and I mix too much than I need for this project. So what I did, all right, that one's done. Look at how pretty that's going to be. I think that's going to be gorgeous. So what I did was I got a few other molds for the extra. Okay, so let me clean off my brush real quick. And I can see, you'll see when you try it. When you flick off your brush, you do see a little bit come out of there, even though you did wipe it on the paper towel. So you definitely got to do the flick. Okay, so what I did is I bought these, and they're gorgeous. How they come out. Look at that. This is from the little packaging, but this one is cherry blossoms. This is this one, Forest Flora. This one is called Winter Blooms, and this one is called Etruscan Rose. And it's just so pretty how they come out. I also purchased some little butterflies and dried flowers, okay, and I'm going to show you why. Because whenever we have extra resin left over, we don't want to waste it. So I got these. These are little bookmarks. Okay, this would be perfect to pour extra into. Okay, I got some of these coasters. I figured, and you don't have to fill it up all at once. So, like for instance, with these types. Oh, and then I also got these little coasters. So I figured this will be nice. It's just a nice little size to throw the extra into. So what you do is, if you have extra left over from this project, now granted it's going to be white and black, so you wouldn't really do that here. What you would do is powder up another flower and make it with the white and black resin. But you don't want to do that with this because this is going to be clear. So when you're working on a clear project, like for instance, say I dust this and I use clear resin on it and I have clear resin left. You could pour that clear resin into here, and you only want to go up about halfway. Let it sit for like an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours and thicken up a little bit, and then add some flowers and some butterflies to it. So you wait that time so that they don't sink to the bottom, number one. And number two, you only go halfway up and then put your embellishment, because you want to cover that embellishment with more resin. So any extra that you have, you pour it in here first. let it sit that hour, hour and a half, add your embellishments, and then you could set it aside and wait until you do another project with clear. And when you do, whatever extra you have, you finally pour it on top of what you already did in here, and then it'll be ready to go. So it's like a two-step process. So you don't waste your resin. These are little bookmarks. This could also be a keychain if you put a ring in here. So kind of think, when you buy your stuff, think, what am I going to use for my extra stuff? And buy a few more molds and you'll be all set. All right, I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna finish these. And then when I come back, we will resin. I'll show you how the resin gets mixed and how you put in the resin paste and how we fill these. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm back. Okay, so first of all, well, I've dusted all my molds. This is what this flower arrangement is going to go on. So these are sculpted boards. I will put the link in the comments of where I got them. This one is called Dune. Looks like a sand dune, and I kind of did like an ombre effect of pearl metallic paints. So just these little bottles here. Those are the 4 colors I used. And these boards come in all different patterns. This is called Flow. This one here is called Surge. This is called Ridge. This one's a bit thicker. It's called Metal. And this one is called Frequency. So those are the boards. I'm just going to get these out of the way. So I'm going to glue the flowers onto here with something called Starbond. So that's what is going to glue the flowers on once they're done. So let's get these out of the way. This is a multi-step project. So I'm going to show you what I did. I dusted this one. I have different colors in each thing. I dusted this one. We're going with purples here. I did a lighter purple in the center. And then there's this one, which is the one I think I'm going to put on that board that I just showed you. So pretty. Different colors. So I think we will do this one first. So now you're going to learn. This is new to me too. I've never done this before. Never dabbled with resin. So I'm going gloves, paper towel. I've got cups with lines in them. So I'm going to put some of the hardener in one, to the same exact line, some of the resin in the other. Let me make sure this says, yes, 1-to-1 mixing ratio. So this is KS resin. That's the one that I chose to go with. It's Liquid Art Ultra UV Epoxy. And this is supposed to have no odor or low odor. Dries to touch in 12 hours. Fully cures in only 3 days, 45-minute working time. So it doesn't say how long to stir it. Or maybe it does. I should have read this before I got on here. No, it doesn't say. So we're going to go for a good 5 minutes. And I did not bring a watch down here, so I'll have to look at my phone. So, I've got those cups. I'm going to put my gloves on. You do want to be wearing a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask for the little while that I do this video, so you can hear me. But I will. I'm not going to do all 3 of these at the same time. So I'm just going to do this one or parts of this one and show you how it goes. And then I'll turn the camera off and do the rest. So I'm unscrewing. Oh, they got like a foil thingy here. So I'm going to take that off. Move my garbage can closer. You do want to wear gloves so you don't get all icky. Now, I have no idea how much I'm going to use. I think to do all 3 of these, I'm going to need quite a bit. So I'm going to go up to that top line. Or the line one down from it. So that is the hardener. I'm going to wipe off the top of my bottle. Keep it clean so somehow it doesn't get stuck on. And then I'm going to take and get a cup of the resin. So let me get this open. This is actually very nice. I am not smelling any odor whatsoever. So now I'm pouring it. Now this one is thicker. You could tell it's quite a bit thicker. Could you believe I never really had any desire to work with resin? And I said, I'm never doing that. And here I am. All right, so let's see. Needs just a little more. Just a tad. Just goes to show, never say never. I'm wiping off the top again. Definitely do not want to get that stuck, because then you just lose the whole bottle of resin. I went and got some more paper towels. Okay, so now what you do, you want to put the hardener, I'm going to move this out of the way for right now. You want to pour the hardener in the cup first because it's thinner. Okay. So I'm going to scrape it all out really good. So now this cup is a bigger cup, so that, and I check the ounces. The small cups are 5 ounces, but I'm not going to use, I didn't use the whole cup, so it doesn't matter. It's not 5 ounces that is in the cup. So if I've got 2 5-ounce cups that aren't completely full, and the bigger cup is a 9-ounce cup, then I know that it's going to fit in here. So kind of watch your measurements. All right, that's that one. Now you want to put in the resin because that's thicker. They say it works better this way. And yes, I have plenty of room. So this is good. I'm using popsicle sticks to scrape and stir. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some people have silicone sticks, plastic sticks, but I haven't seen anywhere how you clean those. I'm assuming it might be baby wipes, but I'm just going with the popsicle stick. So now we're going to stir for 5 minutes. So let me see where we are here. Oh, I'm exactly at the 9-minute mark of this video. So I'm going to stir, stir, stir till we get to the 14-minute mark. You want to scrape the bottom. You want to scrape your sides. You want to scrape your stick. And keep going. So this is going to be kind of boring. Let's see what else I can tell you. So we're going to tint this with resin paste. We're going to tint it white. White is going to be the first one that I do. And you just put a little bit of that paste in here until it looks opaque. You don't need much. And you do not want to put in more than 10% of the paste because it'll cause your resin to not cure properly. I'm trying to not create too many bubbles. So we're going to pour this into, oh, this is hard on the fingers. You could get very tired doing this. There is no odor whatsoever. I am pleased to report. So when you're doing this, you don't want to make too much because you don't want to waste resin. It's so expensive. So, I mean, it would be great if you got enough of what you needed out of this. And it worked out just perfectly, but it's kind of better to make less than more so you don't waste it. All right, this is getting easier. Oh, excuse the blood on my hand. I was out trimming lower branches off of our evergreen trees today. I got a couple scratches. Okay, so now what's happening here is this is getting clearer than it was to begin with. And you know what? I know why they said to put the hardener in first, the thinner one, because then it's easier to scrape off the bottom. I'm sure that's the thought process behind it. This is going to be a long video, I'm sorry. But you'll get to get a beginner's view. First time, I have never tried resin before. So you'll get to get a beginner's view on a resin project. This is probably a bit ambitious as opposed to just resining a canvas. Let's see, we are at 13 minutes. So, one more minute for a total of 5. I'm saying 13 minutes on the video. I'm looking at my camera going there. So yes, I can definitely tell the difference. It's much easier to stir now. And it's almost completely clear. Actually, it is completely clear. So now I'm going to scrape and just make sure we got all of the sides. What do I got? 10 seconds left. All right, now we're going to add our resin paste. I've never used this before either, obviously. If I haven't done resining, I had no use for it. Let me get my paper towel over here. Now we do have, what do we got? 45-minute working time. So we don't have to go crazy. We don't have to get all worked up and rush. That's a good thing. I am really pleased. There's no odor whatsoever to this. Very happy. I was kind of worried about that. My art room is in the basement and my husband is on the other side of the door. And I don't think he would like it if I smelled up his basement. So we're going to stir this. This is very thick. What's going to happen here, I wonder? I guess we're going to find out. It's like too much. So, I'm going to take and just scrape some of this in here. Now, people have said you really only need like a pea-sized glob. So let's see what this does. Please dissolve. Okay, there we go. I just feel like that should have been thinner. I know, we're getting there. Yes. Now we want to make sure we scrape and stir and all that again. Yeah, that's pretty opaque to me. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close this up. I don't think I'll be using these sticks again. Let's get this out of the way. All right, more stirring. I certainly don't want a glob of that paste coming out on my project. Nice. All right, I think that's pretty good. All right, here we go. So I don't need these sticks in my way. Now we're going to move this over. Okay. Let me make sure you can see. You can. So I'm just going to let me clean off my stick. I'm gently, slowly going to pour it and keep my stick ready. So it's going in, and we do not want to overfill this. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there and kind of let it start going. A little bit here too. Scrape it off. Let it kind of spread. Since this is my first time, I don't want to do too much until I get the hang of this. Okay. Actually, I think I might, oh, that was stupid. Okay, that's dumb. First time trouble here. See, I knew something was going to go wrong. It would be nice if I actually had a smaller cup. So now I'm going to use a skewer and I'm going to kind of drag it around, like into the little nooks and crannies. This is a little bit thick if you ask me. So what you could do to make your resin thinner is to warm it up, like put the cup in a tub of hot warm water, hot water. Okay, we do need more. Let's clean. Oh boy, I think I'm going to have a whole lot of resin. I almost feel like I'd rather, if this were in a smaller cup, I'm going to take like a Dixie cup and pour some in there. I just think it would be easier to work with than fiddling around with this big cup. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I can do this. See that? Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to try and gently get it in there. It's like you got to have eyes all over your head. I got to watch this stick. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. I'm getting in the groove. Now I'm going to come over and do this one. I keep moving my stick over the bigger portion. Okay. Whew, this is nerve-wracking. Whew. All right. I think a little more right here. Now I'm just going to use my stick to add, because it's hard to control how much comes out of that cup. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so now I'm going to use my skewer. I'm going to spread it down here. And you want to be careful not to overflow, because you'll see when we unearth these things out of here, you can, if you end up with white around it, around the edges, you can trim it with scissors, but you don't really want that. All right, so we need a little more right there. Just a little. Like I'm just putting a little drop. And we need some more right here. And it doesn't take a lot really to get up to the edge. And I think we need a little more here because the blue is showing through. And yeah, it is much easier to scoop it out with the stick when you're getting down to the end here. And so that's it. Now, let's see if I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. So now what we're going to do, I have an alcohol in this bottle, and it's just one little mist, and it will get rid of any bubbles that there are. I wonder if I need a little more there. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out together. I feel like I do. I don't know why that would be showing through there like that. So we better. All right, so I'm just going to I'm going to be up high. Like just a mist. Now let's see what happens. That's going to evaporate. I do see some bubbles popping. Woohoo! Okay. All right, these bubbles do not pop like a painting. Well, we're going to hope it's good. So that's that. So let me look at my sheet. Okay. So now I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to fill these other molds, and then I'll come back on and be ready to demold them when they're dry. So this has to dry, dry to the touch in 12 hours, for fully cured in 3 days. So you won't know the 3 days went by, but it's going to. All right, we'll see you for the next step when I'm back. Take care. Hi, everybody. We're back. So I'm happy. These worked. They're nice and solid. All of them are solid. So here's what happened. So I did the two small 5-ounce cups filled up to there, the hardener and the resin, and poured them into the bigger 9-ounce cup. That was almost exactly what I needed. I was amazed. I had a little bit left over, so I put them into these little bookmark things. I sprinkled some glitter in there, and so I got 2 teeny tiny bookmarks out. It couldn't have worked out better. So I'm just going to unmold these and show you. So only one side is done, the other side is white, but they are firm, very firm, hard, not bendy, maybe just a little bit bendy. So now remember, these were dry to the touch in 12 hours and perfectly cured in 36 hours. So I am at 12 hours here right now. So that's what they're like at 12 hours. So I have those. So let's see what we have here color-wise. I'm trying to remember. We're going to do it in the order. I have my jars of pigment all over the place here. And so I want to keep everything in its location so I know what color it was. Look at that. So I think that I could have, oh no, this is, let's see here. This I think was the sea glass. So it's very light. It looks like I probably didn't have enough pigment in there because there's some white shining through, but that's pretty. Let's see what this one is. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh, now hold on. So let me figure out what I did here. Now this is interesting. This was the Athena rose gold in the center, and it came out pink. It came out pink. This was the sea glass. This was tail feather. But I love these colors. So now these are going to look different if I had put in black tinted resin. They would be darker. This here is the sterling with the cappuccino. Sterling silver. This one is emerald with the cappuccino. This is Echeveria. And then we have our twigs. I'm not going to worry about taking them out. They look just like the cappuccino. So now I'll show you what happened. So you see on the sides, you see a little bit of white, but it's okay. It's kind of nice with the white, with these lighter colors. This is firm. I'm surprised at that Athena that it came out pink instead of goldish. So that is interesting. I like these colors. All right, so that's that one. Let's go to the next one. So on these, I put a little bit of agapanthus in the center. You don't really see it on this one too much. Now, what did I do? Okay, this is Constellation. This is, oh no, that's different. This is Sangria. Okay, there you could see the little bit of the agapanthus in the center. And this whopper is pretty. This is Nightfall with a little bit of the agapanthus in the center. So I guess what I would like to do next time is just put a bit more pigment, but it's actually kind of pretty with that being modeled. The edges are pretty good for a first attempt. There is a few spots that I missed, even though I looked really hard and made sure I got it all. So that's interesting. Now this one is, let's see, this one I'm most excited about. Because this is the one that I want to put on that wood round. I'm trying to be very careful just in case it's not completely cured. It's very easy to get out. So I overflowed a little bit right here. I'm going to have to trim that with scissors. It's coming. Oh my, look at that. I love it. So, I have to, well, this one's a little bendy yet, but this was latte on these two. This was mermaid, and I have them like so. So this center one was lagoon, You can see I got a little bit of brown right there, but not too bad. So I did mermaid and mermaid and lakeside and lakeside. So, yeah, the stems are just still a little bit bendable. So I'm going to trim this with little scissors or an X-Acto knife, but not bad. I didn't overflow too much for the first time. Here we go. I'll just set it down there so you can see. So I'm really liking the resin. It wasn't as difficult or bad as I thought it would be. It went very well. Let me get, where's my board? Oh, there it is. Let me get my board and show you what this is going to look like. Here it is. Look at how pretty. So this is a little, well, it's not too small. I like it. So I'm just going to glue it on there. Now I'm debating. I have never resined a flat surface before, a canvas or anything. So I'm thinking that I can just glue this on here, right onto this, even with the ridges. So I'm going to either varnish this, seal it, spray varnish, or I'm going to get a venturesome and resin it and have a flat surface. But that's how it goes. How pretty is that? I think it turned out really well. I'm pleased with it. So don't be afraid of the resin. It's not as hard as you think. You just kind of have to read up and learn and get what you need and then do it. So let's see how this would look. Of course, it's not going to look nice with the purple, but what if? Oh, well, I don't have, see, now I'm trying to do this upside down. And then I'd have to get my stems out. Let me get the stems out real quick. Why not? So we can see what this would look like. I might need some more stems. Let's see. So perhaps like so. And so. I don't know if I like that. Well, let's see. How would I do this? I could go like that. We could put a leaf in here. Where'd my other leaf go? Oh, it's hiding. No, I think maybe I don't like this like this. Well, whatever. I don't know. I'd have to play with this and see what I would want to do. But anyway, you see the different color combination. So what I'm going to do next time, oh, hold on. No, not really. Well, it could. I gotta play. But, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. So, well, No, not purples. No. So anyway, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make that same combination. I'm going to do it with black resin so that I have a combination so I can see what whether I like it better in black or white. And then I will have samples of each color with the black and white so that as I do this more, I'll know what it's going to look like. So anyway, there you have it. First experience at Resin. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something different. Hope it's helpful. Hope you give it a try. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We will see you next time. Please give me a thumbs up on the video, like or subscribe to my channel, and we'll be doing more stuff like this as a change. So I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.